It's the Wonder Woman. So, do you answer the Wonder Bra?
You suck.
Yeah.
Wait, are you a man? No.
Big booty, but you got a big booty.
Oh.
Big booty.
Oh.
What the f?
Hey guys, Ultra Maximus back with another toy review, and today we're taking a look at another Batman vs. Superman figure, and it's the Deluxe Wonder Woman. I actually picked this figure up at my local Kroger grocery store. They were on sale for $3.50, which is a great buy. These retail for, I think, for $9.99. And I'd seen her one or two times at like Toys R Us and Walmart, and I had passed on her. And I had to pick her up on sale because I was so disappointed in the DCMU version of this. I mean, she just looked like a hideous tranny. And actually, much like the Nightmare Batman, I think the sculpt looks better on this one. So let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. Here we have a Wonder Woman in packaging, and it's very similar to the Deluxe Nightmare Batman I'd gotten before. If you've not seen that review, I will add a link right here. It's got Batman, it's got Superman, it's got the Batman vs. Superman logo up here. It says Wonder Woman. There's the figure. She comes with her sword and her shield. It is for ages 3 up. Nothing on that side, nothing on that side. Kind of a close-up of the artwork. Looking kind of cool. There she is. Liking the head sculpt way better than the DCMU version. And here is the back of the packaging. And again, very similar to the Nightmare Batman, we have Wonder Woman right there. It includes sword and shield. There's the B versus S logo. It says you can also get Shield Clash Superman, Grapnel Blast Batman, and the Battle Armor Batman, all in the deluxe figures. So just kind of a close-up of the artwork on the back, looking pretty decent. There's the Superman, Batman logo. All the other figures in this wave. Definitely pretty cool, and that does it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and get Wonder Woman out of box and see what we think. So here we have Wonder Woman out of the package, and I have to say, I actually do like this figure better than I do the DCMU version. It's the paint, I think on the body itself, the flesh tone looks better than the DCMU one that kind of looks like it has a spray-on tan. And I like the head sculpt way better than I do the DCMU one. It's even got more lasso on the side there than the DCMU one does. However, it does have its drawbacks. Most notably, the shield and sword, they're just a light gray plastic. And while the paint apps are done very well, it's not as detailed as the DCMU one. But again, that head sculpt just looks so much better than the larger version, which is very, very sad. Now, as far as articulation goes on this figure, I'm going to take her weapons off real quick. Her head does not have much as far as movement goes because she's on, she's got that hair that just keeps it from moving. Her arms go around that far. They do not come out. She has a single jointed elbow. There is a twist at the elbow and nothing at the wrist itself. There is nothing at the waist. Her legs go up that far. It's a little hampered due to the skirt. They do not go back at all. And she has a single jointed knee, nothing at the actual ankles, which is, it's a little disappointing. The sword, just kind of a close-up of the sword. It's about the same size as the DCMU one. It just doesn't have all that detail in it that it does. It does have a lot of detail on the hilt, but no paint apps. And the shield, again, very similar, but no paint apps. It's got the details in there and the little bird, but it's nowhere near as detailed as the larger version. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, again, I think this head sculpt looks way better than the first one that we got in the DCMU one. I think it looks more like Gal Gadot. It looks more like the actress, and it just doesn't look like a very bad tranny to me. The hair sculpt is nice. There's a lot of detail there. It could really use for some dry brushing to give it a little more texture to it, but again, this is a deluxe or a basic figure, so I don't expect that at all. Her little crown at the top is very, very bland. It looks a little over-painted to me, but it's okay for what it is. Definitely a far better looking head. Taking a look at the midsection of the figure, I like the muscle tone in the arms. The chest looks pretty good. It's got that little brown vinyl belt that goes over it. Kind of blocks some of it there. But definitely pretty cool as far as the flesh tone goes. I think it looks a lot nicer than what we got on the other figure. The belt in the back looks good. I like the red. The armband looks really nice. Overall, I think they did a pretty good job, especially on this price point. The shield is just missing a lot of detail. Looking at the midsection of the figure, you know, I like how the lasso looks on this one versus the other. It actually looks like there's some significant amount of rope. The belt down there and the skirt, I think, looks pretty detailed. It just doesn't have the gold painted around the edges of the skirt, which is a bit of a shame. Again, no detail on that shield. I do like the silver bands. That does have some nice detail on it. Again, the sword, just very base plastic. And we got the Wonder Woman logo on the belt, looking pretty cool. And then checking out her legs, again, they're painted okay. They're just not as detailed. I like the red. It's got the gold stripe down the front of it there. It just doesn't have the painted detail apps that the other one has. All the sculpt is there. It just doesn't have the flesh tone and the kind of leather strap look that the other figure has, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. This kind of looks more like the comic book to me, with a little bit more detail in it, but yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to have a little more paint app, but for the price point, I can see it without. For comparison, here we have the deluxe or basic Wonder Woman with the deluxe Nightmare Batman and the Heat Vision Superman, and she's still shorter than they are. The Amazon should be taller than the others, but it is what it is. Now, this is my favorite Nightmare Batman. I like this one way better than I do the DCMU one. I don't think it came out quite as well as this one. Same thing with this figure. I just think it looks a lot better. Superman, I don't really like any of the Superman figures. I like this one because I like the black and the red outfit. It looks very apocalypse to me, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, she stands pretty well with these guys. And here we have Wonder Woman with the DCMU Armored Up Batman and Aquaman. And these are two of the better DCMU figures, I think. I just love this Batman. I think this is pretty cool, but he's kind of hard to stand. And Aquaman is pretty cool looking. He just is missing some articulation about him. I think the figure itself is pretty nice. And then I noticed mine has a silver trident, and there's some other ones I've seen lately on the shelf that have gold tridents. And I've seen that in the reviews too. So I don't know. Maybe I got a rare variant or something. But yeah, I mean, she stands pretty well with these guys. Again, she's way too short. But the other figure is the same exact way. Yeah, I prefer this one over the other one. I really, really do. And finally, here we have Wonder Woman with Wonder Woman, and wow, these two side by side. I mean, it's just amazing the difference these two figures have. Looking at them, the flesh tone on this one looks way better. She looks like she's got a spray tan on here. Face on this one is horrible. It looks like a really bad tranny versus that looking more like a Gal Gadot. Paint apps on this one are better, and when I say better, we've got more. We've got the bright silver and gold on the arm. She does have the leather bands around her hands. She does not have that there. The molding is different on this band, and it's a darker silver, kind of a gun-washed silver. And the W, well, she has a W here where it's just a bird there. She's got the W there as well. About the same kind of detail on the belts. A lot more detail up on the chest. Same kind of detail on the red pieces and the blue pieces, but there's some gold trim here. Her belt is a lot larger on this figure than this figure, and there's a lot more detail as far as the paint apps go. On the legs, we get silver, we get the gold, and it looks like it's a leather strap mesh. And then the weapons, way more detail on the weapons, paint apps, and detail on the weapons, shield and sword. But yeah, I mean, overall, this one has way better articulation than this figure does, but I mean, this one just looks so much better. So just to kind of give a close-up comparison between the two, I mean, it's night and day difference. The DCMU one is taller, but that face, it just does not look good to me at all. And I never really noticed the skin tone of the figure until I put the two together. I think the smaller one has a better flesh tone. There's just something about it that looks nicer to me. The shield, I wish the shield had a little bit more paint apps on it, and it looks a little too small. I don't know, but the body itself, not too terribly bad between the two. They have different detail on them, and the paint apps are different. So, yeah, I don't know. Not too terribly bad there, but definitely an improvement on the head sculpt with the smaller piece. And then looking at the bottom of the figures, again, big difference in the boots. I do like the DCMU's boots. Like the shield a lot better, and the sword on this one a lot better. The lasso looks better on the smaller figure. It just doesn't look like there's enough lasso on the larger figure. I think the smaller one captured that better. And while the paint apps are not bad on the smaller figure for the boots, they just look dramatically different and way less detailed. Alright, and just kind of a quick shot. I put the DCMU weapons on this figure to see how it looked, and I like this look. The sword can easily be held in this figure's hand, as it is the same exact size. It just has better paint apps. The shield, she can actually hold the shield proper because they printed the stupid bird upside down on this figure. So if you want the bird right side up on the Wonder Woman DCMU version, you have to switch out the arms. This one, she can actually hold it proper, and to be honest, I like the size on this figure. I think it works. It's a little large, but that's what I think of when I think, you know, ancient Greek shields, that big phalanx type of shield, and it was a pretty big shield in the movie. I remember her hiding behind it when Doomsday blasted his beams, and I think that works well for this figure. This looks really, really nice. This is very possibly how I'm going to display the figure up on the shelf. Again, it's the head sculpt and the skin tone that really works for me on this figure. Looks so much better. So is the Batman vs. Superman Deluxe or Basic Wonder Woman a figure that you want in your DC collection? Well, if you're collecting the DC Batman vs. Superman figures, this is definitely something you're going to want to pick up, I think, especially now. You can find these things on sale. If you're a Wonder Woman fan, you're going to like this figure, I think. And as far as collectors go, to be honest, I would prefer this figure over the DCMU one, mainly because of the head sculpt. It's nowhere near as articulated, and the paint's not quite as good, but the flesh tone looks better on this figure, and the head sculpt is just miles ahead of that horrible, horrible DCMU one that we'd received, which is a damn shame. I may pick up another one of these figures and try to do a head swap and repaint of it, to try to match the other figure a little bit better, because that figure's so bad. I like this one way better, even though it has less paint and less articulation. I'm just going to swap out the weapon accessories and just use this. So for my money, you're getting a better buy and a better looking figure. So there she is, Wonder Woman from Batman vs. Superman.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share. And as always, look for more videos in the future.